Hello. Today we are going to be building a entire blog system that's completely automated and powered by AI. I was just doing an event and it was supposed to be recording the video and it did not, so we're going to do it again. Alright, so we're working with Base44, our favorite no-code editor system. Already got pretty much a template set here, just simple news website. I just geared it around vibe coding because that's kind of our subject. So first things first, we are going to need to develop our admin area. So we're just going to cheat and use a prompt that I've already built and I share on my website, codebase.us, by the way. And there's a ton of free prompts on here that you guys can use to do all kinds of crazy different things. Where is here we are? Alright. Make sure we're not using some dumb. We're going to switch over to Sonnet because it's good and it doesn't eat all my credits up. Alright, let me make sure that audio is working. Probably need to bring up the sound there. Okay. We got some questions. Let's see here. Do you want me to build a full admin dashboard now? Yes. 1 equals yes. Should attract article views. Why not? 3. Well, priorities, which matters those articles missing inactive user goes through but never reading anything. We're just gonna go no. We're gonna build those manually. And since I goofed up, and well, I didn't goofed up. Let me throw a link on Base44. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, get it on Reddit. Let's see if we can get anybody in here. We're gonna wait a few minutes. You know, bring you over here. Audio check. 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing, testing. Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Give me just a moment here and we will go live. Okay, so I am recording this the proper way this time. Good old OBS to the rescue. So this video will also be posted into the YouTube channel later. So what I have built here, just a basic little app. It's just a staging app just so I can show you guys how to build these blog systems. We're also going to be doing maybe tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a social media management tool. But so we want to build a automated AI controlled blogging system. So far, the only thing that I have done to the app is I've created the home page, I've created the article with the ID slugs, and an admin area. So let's begin the journey, shall we? That is the ugliest green I've ever seen. Real quick, before we get going too far on this, if you go to my website, codebase.us, under Learn and Prompt Library, you can grab a code that's going to do close to what we're doing. You might have to tweak it a little bit, but you can always go back to this video later and get it working. So first things first, we're going to tell the AI, and I want to be on Sonnet for this. We don't want to switch over to Opus just yet. We don't need that brain surgeon AI just yet. Okay, so create a blog dashboard inside of /admin. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them into the chat. I'd be happy to answer any questions as we go through this. Okay, so it's already pulling the content it created when I told it to create the website. So let's just take a look here. It did a horrible job. We'll get it fixed. Let's look at it. Doesn't work. We're just going to delete all this, articles. Delete all. Refresh. 3 viewers, welcome in. Okay, so very basic, no automation, no AI, no nothing. It probably doesn't even work. It's out of the box functionality here. So we should be good. Okay, first things first. Let's make sure that we can actually add content to it. So we're just going to do some simple prompting. This does not work. Please build the backend functions. It's going to be real awkward with you guys not throwing anything in chat and me just sitting there staring at it while we're waiting on the AI, but if you guys are cool with that, I'm cool with it. I don't know if you can hear that loud cat in the background. Come on. Okay, let's see. All right, we have title expert. Categories. I did a pretty good job. No tags. So before we get to the AI and the automation side, we want to make sure that the functionality is all there. That way we don't have to recreate anything and reteach the AI. So always be moving forward in our prompts. So make sure that we have our system and our process of how we're building these things in order. So always build the static functionality and then work in the AI integrations. All right, so articles pop-up is missing the tag field. And database entity. We will also want to add some SEO stuff in here. So let's go ahead and build that prompt out and get it in the queue. First things first, let's just start with new article needs to have SEO settings so that the user can optimize the article. That one was probably a prompt we should have ran through Opus because it's going to do more of that deep research. Sonnet, it somewhat does it, but it's more of task action, and they goes and completes it. So we got tags in there. We got SEO settings. It's going to throw in some OG data in here as well. Under SEO settings, that spells words right. Include OG data settings. Quick tip: when this happens, no prompts loading, but it's in queue. Sometimes it'll load on its own, but most of the time it can take a few minutes. If you're impatient like me, just hit the refresh button and it'll throw the prompt in there. Let's see, what do we have? Title, yep. And I would add like SEO schema in here, but I don't want to get too crazy. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Add SEO schema fields. So for those that do not know, schema fields are just labels in the code that tells Google about what the article's about, title, that kind of stuff, what type of content is it, all that good stuff. The more data you provide Google before it reads your content, that's going to help them understand kind of like what your intent was, what direction were you going, and hopefully help you rank higher. I know this looks really, really ugly, but I'm just showing you that this is possible. And then you can come back, you can put it in your own app. And then if this application was more built out, then it would follow the brand styles of it. So, and while I'm thinking of that, let's go to resources.base44.app because we're going to want to grab my handy dandy custom instructions so that the AI doesn't have free reign to do what in the world it wants. Okay, so now we got all that. The functionalities pretty much here for a typical blog site. So we have the main website, we have the admin dashboard, and we built out the blog side of the admin dashboard where we will be creating different pieces of content. So now we are going to start working with AI. So what I like to do is right next to the new article button, we are going to tell it to create a generate with AI button that will invoke LLM. I like to use ChatGPT 5.5 as the AI model for content because of its deep research abilities. You can use Claude, but it's going to eat more credit. So ChatGPT is just as good as Claude when it comes to content research. Not Claude, Opus. All right, so button. This will open a pop-up where the AI will generate 5 article suggestions. We got 4 viewers. let's go. Any questions? Throw them in chat. Okay, now we have the AI generate. So it's going to start generating different suggestions. There should be check boxes from how this thing typically builds this thing out. And then we just pick the ones we want, hit generate, and then hopefully, no, this one's a little bit different. But we'll just work with it. I would probably come back with another prompt and say, let me select multiple. But let's do the one-person unicorn stack. And it did not create it. Okay, so we're going to do this on AI article suggestions. When the user clicks on one of the suggestions, it does not generate the article. Instead, it opens the new article pop up. All right, so we describe what it's doing and that it's a problem. Now we're going to tell it what is our expected result. When the user clicks on a suggested article, it should show a progress bar showing that it is generating the article. Then it saves the article as a draft on /admin blog. We'll let that generate. Yeah, it's kind of weird because before Opus 4.7 came out, and Sonnet was great. I mean, it was 9 times out of 10 it would you wouldn't have to do a lot of this back and forth. But now 4.7 come out, it seems like it's either that AI has been downgraded or Opus 4.7 is just so good that we just didn't know how bad Sonnet was. All right, so let's click that one. Generating. We got our progress bar. It looks beautiful. And let's F12, check console, make sure that we are not running into any issues while it's doing this. Now, when AI gets invoked, whether it's for content creation or image generation, it can take between like 30 seconds to 60 seconds for it to go through the process, sometimes longer depending on word count and things like that, the size of the image, how much detail, all that good stuff. So I'm already annoyed with the progress bar because we're at the end. We should be already seeing the finished article, and we still got to spin. So I would normally go and fix that, but for the purposes of this video, I don't think it's necessary. But while that's doing that, I do want to go and grab my debug tool. Everybody should use this thing. I use it on my client sites. I use it on everything that I build. Looky there. So let's just take a look at the article. So no styles inside here, but it did create it. So we're gonna come in here. Okay, so we've noticed that it's missing a couple things. It did not create the tags. It did auto assign the category. We are going to add an AI cover image generator inside of here. I don't like when you go and pick one of the suggested articles and it starts to generate it, and then making it where it automatically generates your feature image, or in this case the cover image. I'd rather have it here because for whatever reason it slows down, and it seems like the articles themselves don't come out as well defined. So we'll come back here in a second. I want to make sure we got our debug tool. So what this thing is going to do is there's going to be an icon that should be, and you can't see me, it's behind my video here, but it should be very right hand corner. I'm going to move it to the left hand corner because my camera's in the way, but there'll be an icon that you can click on, and if there's any errors, it'll show up in there. So it's going to show typical console log errors with a couple extra things that we're pushing into it. Let's see here. That, and we're gonna say no equals. If you see me looking around, I have multiple monitors, so I'm doing this while doing other things. And when the video I post out, we're going to be cutting all of the dead spots here. Or maybe I'll just speed it up. So I probably should stop doing this with the finger. That'd be looking really weird. Or it could be adding to my charm. I don't know. Okay, so most likely it's going to probably put it in the right hand corner, so I'll move it over if it's going to show the floating error area. Log, it does not. Alright, so we are going to, I do not see the floating error log icon. Bottom left hand side. There we are. Let's make sure that debug mode is box enable debug mode does not work. Alright, it is enabled. Now, if you really want to get real fancy, because how this thing works, it's only visible to admin. That is platform admin, not application. So, like if you have admins inside of your app, like if you have a multi-tenant software, those are not considered platform admins. They're just application admins. So only platform admins can see this. But anytime any user anywhere is accessing any page, if an error is triggered, it will land inside of here. So you can do one extra step with this and set up where if error is logged, it can send you an email. Just prompt to tell it to do that, and it will go to it. But we are not going to do that. So let's go back to here. I need to go here actually. We need to. I want to do two things. Add a generate cover image with AI icon. And of course you could pick any AI. We're defaulted with GPT 5.5, so we're just going to use that because I like its ability to create things just very professional looking. There's probably better ones. I'm not real big into AI image generation. Alright, so we should see generate. I just want to make sure that function's working. Save. Now let's go back and see if it pulled in the. Yep. Cool. Alright, not perfect, but it works for the purposes of building this thing out. So we're going to delete this guy. Then user generate with AI and selects a suggested article. It needs to fill out all data for the article, excluding cover image. We are missing article tag, SEO settings, and OG data. Parentheses again, because remember we don't want it to create the image for the OG image. So when we create it inside the article, we'll have it, well, just to save on integration credits, we'll do one step. So when it generates the image, it's giving us the URL. We can just copy the URL and throw it down into the OG image field. So if you don't know what an OG image is, so if you share a link to an article or a website, whatever, and like social media, it has that little box that has like an image. That image is where it's pulled from the OG image metadata. And the title, the text, the descriptions, all that stuff, it's all pulled from the page's metadata. Okay, so we're going to come here, generate with AI. Let the AI do its thing, figure out what 5 articles it wants to recommend. Why not? That sounds good. Now, so if anyone's thinking, okay, this thing is just going to create a bunch of AI garbage and it's not going to have really any value, you are 100% correct. But we can work around that and actually fix that problem by integrating a custom agent into that adds guardrails and tells, okay, this is the style content that we want, this is the tone, all that good stuff, so that the content that comes out is actually going to be pretty valuable to the end user. But this website, I think of this one was basically a news blog is kind of how I started the prompt to build the foundation of the app. So it's probably how it's generating content is it's looking at, you know, opinion based news. All right, generated. And I'm already, well, I don't know if it's okay. So we're gonna do this. Check, make sure tags. Yep, got tags in there. Let's see if it did. Yep, there we are. OG, author email. IamWillCode@gmail.com. We're going to come up here, generate the cover image. Go ahead and set this as a featured article. Copy that, put it down in the OG data, and then we're going to save article. Now let's go revisit, make sure it's pulling in that cover image. And it is. Cool. Okay, so we got pretty much the basics down on this thing. It's we got categories, we got the structure of a basic blog. We have AI creating the content for us. One thing I did notice, and I don't think it's in here, you know, publish date. So we need to. It's automatically publishing, so we need to do two things. First things first is I want to, under blogs, when AI generates a new article, user must approve it before it is published. So save the new article as a draft. And what was the other thing that was missing? Ah, that's right. User on edit article, add a icon next to publish date to auto schedule the article. So this is probably where something's going to break, because we should have spotted that this does not have a status, you know, where it's, you know, draft, pending, needs review, publish, that stuff, and also we did not create a schedule system. So we'll see if it understands first time around. So that should auto schedule. So we're going to do this because it doesn't understand. All right. Article post schedule is 3 times a day, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. CST. Those are post time slots for scheduling. Ensure that when auto scheduling is pressed, it finds the next open time slot. I've noticed that when you and I misspelled it, insert anyways, that when you do something with scheduling and you want it to auto schedule it, it doesn't, unless you tell it to, but this typical AI, it does exactly what you tell it to do. It just finds a spot. It isn't the next immediately available opening during that time spot. So let's, so like I said, it's because we reversed the step, we should have laid the foundation, then integrated AI. So now it's going to have to go back on its work. Alright, so I think what the issue actually is that it's showing just a date when it also should show time. So it's probably working, it's just I don't have a place for the data to display. I lied, it's not working. I had faith in you, Opus. When I click on it, it should auto schedule to the next open time slot, but nothing happens. Let's switch it to Opus. Bam! Save article. Does it have a status? Okay. Well, we need to display in two different areas, so on /admin blog, we need to see the status of the article. Draft, published, and scheduled with a date and time stamp. Also an article, what is it called? Edit article? Yep. Edit article pop up. Add a status drop down selector. Well, we don't need that because how this is working is if the date and time is now, bam, it'll publish it, so we don't really need to change it there. So if you wipe out the published date, it should show as a draft. Any questions? Okay. So this one is set to scheduled. Let's change. Well, let's do this. Let's make sure we're going to have a conversation. Whoop. And the scheduled time for a article has been reached. Does the system auto publish the article? Should. If it understood the intent of what we were trying to do. Okay. Make it so. Number one. Alright, hard refresh. Shouldn't took that long. Control Shift and R. Everyone else will tell you to hit Control F5 or something like that, but you gotta press it twice. Why do more work, you know? Okay, so we got our one blog post on. So let's run it down. So we built the foundation, we built the website, we know where all the content's going. We now have the blog system in place, a very basic version of it. AI generation's here. Let's start working towards some more advanced stuff. So let's what would be the next natural step? Oh, I know. When the AI generates 5 suggested articles, make it multi-select so the AI can generate more than one article. So while this is doing that, I will show you what a system that's been completed looks like. Ooh, better yet, well, I don't know if it's completely built out, but we'll go look at that one too. Come on. Don't pick on my sidebar. I have not optimized it. All right, generate with AI. Pretty much what we're building right now. Just looks a lot better. You can see we've got 8 posts, automatically schedules out. We got a bunch of drafts. This is from when I had an error. This happens sometimes. He's got to go through it. SEO scores. Yeah, so that's going to be the next thing we're going to want to do. I am not going to generate them because that will take for like a good 2-3 minutes, but we have accomplished what we want. We already know that it's going to generate the images, well, the articles, so we got that. So let's do some basic stuff here. I'm going to bring out the editor tool, click on this, and we're going to say add SEO scoring under each article. Next, we're going to do internal linking. Paul, my first commenter. You get an award. All right, this is the bottleneck for creating sites have been solved. Yeah, very true. But the bottleneck is how the hell do we market these sites and generate invoices? I am gotcha, buddy. So we are going to be every day. I'm going to be creating a new video. I'm probably going to go live with all of them, but I'm going to show you what we are going to be building. So everything that I do, of course, I got to make money. So you got systems here. So right now we are building the same system that these prompts have right here, the code blog engine. So I'm teaching you how to build your own. If you don't want to buy it, you want to learn to do it, which I would honestly, if you want to buy it, cool. But if I can teach you, I'd rather do that. It's a lot more fun. SMS systems, email marketing systems, and the big one is the social media system. So it works just like this blog system that we're creating, and it's going out and it's creating social media posts. And so let me show you a great case study for this system. me bring this over here. All right, so this is for a website that was created on the 22nd by me and Charles, one of the other moderators for Base44. As you can see, benchmarked. I mean, we weren't getting any active users. We went live with all the systems. So social media went out, blog engine went out, email marketing went out. We don't do SMS. We have no use for it, but all those systems going out. So like on social media, we were posting a post every hour on the hour. So 24 posts per day. And that's going into LinkedIn, Twitter, Reddit. We're not doing it that much because we don't want to get banned. I think that's it. And then we're going to be also integrating Facebook into it as well, and TikTok. So as you can see, I mean, we went from 0 to 910 active users in the span of, let's just do 7 days. 7 days using this system. And I mean, it works. It's going to need tweaking. You're going to eventually want to keep improving things as it goes, but that's just the way everything is. I was in marketing for 16 years. You are always optimizing every day. How do we make this campaign better? How do we squeeze that extra point of a percentage out of the conversion rate? So I mean, it's the nature of the beast. Marketing is always moving. It's always fluid. All right, so now we got an SEO score, 100%. I do not believe that at all because we have no internal links or anything like that. So, but for this purposes, it's fine. I'm gonna create a section on my website, and it's gonna be all a bunch of free content. For different content for like logic and stuff to wrap around your AI agents. And this is just Invoke LLM doing its thing. It's not, we're not using any agents yet. But so this is where we're at so far with it. Now, so we have the blog system, we have AI, we can generate content, a bunch of content at once, approve it, schedule it, delete it. Let's go one more step, and then I have to jump into a meeting. So we will do a part 2, probably tomorrow morning. Let's do one more step here. So, and this is when things starts turning. This is where the value, the gold stuff, is hidden. If that works, I don't know. All right, on edit article, pop up, add a AI chat box where the user can have a conversation with a AI, well, you know what, AI agent to make corrections to the blog, I'm going to use the same terminology now, the article. Create a agent to handle this. Yep, sure do, Paul. So here, I'll show you. It may have already burnt through the post. So as you can see here, it has published 75 different social media posts since the 22nd automatically. I got to reconnect my LinkedIn. Oh, but yeah, it's already done it. But what's real cool, what we built into this thing is that because it's always recommending one of the courses on this platform, we make sure that every post has its own unique UTM, so we can track it inside of Google Analytics. And also that the AI can track it as well to see the success and tweak content, messaging, positioning, hashtags, all that good stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. You don't even need 8 and 8 anymore. You can build all the automations in here. There's a couple other tools that I built that I can't show you, but just you can do anything. You can build anything that you are paying for right now that exists, that whether or exists in your mind. Now you can just come here and create the thing. As long as there's connections and APIs you can grab a hold of to integrate with these platforms. I mean, it is unlimited. of what you can do. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So let's go and see. There's an error detected. All right, so get it open, and it did not add the chat bot. Oh, I created the agent. Okay, so this is what we're going to do instead. Add the icon to open the AI article. What do they call in this chat bot? Article editor. Should look right there. I was fixing to say it's annoying. It didn't tell me. Add a icon to open the article editor AI chat window to make AI changes to the article. While it's doing that, let me drop in the link. You guys visit the website, explore. You do not have to even visit the service pages unless you are interested in something over there. Everything under Learn is free. Everything under Tools are free. If you need a API prompt to integrate whatever, I have it. There's like, what, 900 some odd prompts? Yeah, 998 prompts. I got everything from Stripe, email, you name it, it's in here, and it's probably going to be a lot more. This part of the site will eventually go away, and it will just redirect you to codeos.us. So that's another place you guys might want to check out. It has all kinds of crazy prompts. I think it's more than 2,000 different prompts you can find. We have AI model APIs that you can grab. You got agent kits, MCP servers. So you even have starter kits if you don't know what to build. There you go. You got everything that you could ever want right here. And then, you know, if you are already building something and you don't know what APIs and all that stuff, come here, tell it what you're building, and it will give you a list of all this stuff and what you should grab. And you can start your own little projects and all that stuff. Crazy tool. Have fun with it. But let's go and see what it did. So, rude, didn't even say hello. Oh, there it goes. I don't know. Honestly, I'm probably gonna just start doing these streams as soon as I get up, and just stream for the morning. So I'll probably be live the entire time. I want to start cranking out a lot more video content. So you know, more content I have to edit, the better. But I will be for sure. We'll be streaming in the morning, and then sometime after one, between 1 and 3, I will be live every day, unless I have a child that needs a doctor's appointment or some crazy stuff like that. But yeah, so that's it for right now. Well, we will probably come back and visit this and build it out some more, but we've got the basic systems down. There's still a lot to add to this thing, like internal linking, things like that. So we will come back to this. We'll probably pick it up in the morning, unless my ADHD decides we're going to do something else, and then you guys are just going to be here for the ride. But hopefully not. And if so, yell at me so I can stay track. All right, but I appreciate you guys joining on. Yeah, we're going to start having a lot more of these, and we're going to have a lot of fun. CST, I'm in Central Standard Time. You can always just hit the subscribe and like button. And, oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber now. Please subscribe and like to my channel. God. Yeah, but that way when I go live, you get notified. I hate myself that I even said that, but it's part of the thing. All right, we did the thing and a thing today. Thank you for joining, and I will see you guys.